I'm Muhammed Hamdan and this is Nightline, news making the headlines. Police initiate surveillance of GISBH through social media. And at least 51 killed in Iran coal mine explosion. Good morning. We begin with this headlining story. The Royal Malaysia Police (PDRM) is actively monitoring social media for statements made by any individuals linked to Global Ikhwan Services and Business Holdings (GISBH). Inspector General of Police Tan Sri Razaruddin Hussein said a special team has been formed to conduct the surveillance. The move comes after it was detected that individuals connected to GISBH, former members and others have been making statements or disclosures on social media. Razaruddin said a special team from Bukit Aman's Federal Criminal Investigation Department (CID) has been tasked with the surveillance, and those with any information on GISBH have also been urged to come forward to help with the investigation. In the meantime, Razaruddin said investigations are continuing after Saturday's raids, codenamed Ops Global Phase 4, were carried out across the peninsula. A total of 155 individuals were arrested, while 186 others were rescued during the raids on 82 premises, including charity homes, business clinics, madrasas and private residences. On September 11th, police carried out Ops Global, which saw raids on 20 charity homes in Selangor and Negeri Sembilan linked to GISBH, suspected of child exploitation and promoting alleged indoctrination. Meanwhile, a total of 29 individuals linked to GISBH have been remanded between 1 and 7 days starting Sunday. The order to remand all individuals was made by Shah Alam Magistrates Court Deputy Registrar Mat Subri Hashim to facilitate investigations into the company and the group's ideological doctrine.
The investigation is being conducted under Section 31, Subsection A of the Child Act 2001, the Printing Presses and Publications Act 1984, and the Anti-Trafficking in Persons and Smuggling of Migrants Act 2007. Earlier, the group, consisting of 13 men and 16 women aged between 19 and 62, arrived at the Sultan Salahuddin Abdul Aziz Shah Court building at 11:30 a.m. They are being detained at the central lockup at the Shah Alam, Subang Jaya and Petaling Jaya police headquarters. On Saturday, the Selangor police raided over 20 business premises believed to be primarily linked to GISBH during an operation in Banda Country Homes, Rawang. The operation, beginning 6:30 a.m., involved 50 officers and 200 personnel from the State Police Headquarters together with the Federal Reserve Unit, Selangor Islamic Religious Department JIS and the Selayang Municipal Council.
Over in Negeri Sembilan, the Seremban's Sharia lower court on Sunday allowed the State Islamic Affairs Department's application for a bail bond on the chairman and principal of a madrasah in Kuala Pilah suspected of being connected to GISBH. Judge Nurul Akmal Muhammad Hilmi granted the application to allow the department's Enforcement Division to complete the investigation against the suspects under Negeri Sembilan Section 22 of the Control of Islamic Religious Schools Enactment 1996 and Section 52 of the Sharia Criminal Enactment 1992 Amendment 2019. Nurul Akmal also ordered each suspect, aged 58 and 51, to pay 2,000 ringgit bail with two sureties who are residents of Negeri Sembilan. The court then set November 12th for mention. Earlier, the suspects were detained after providing their statements at the Kuala Pilah District Police Headquarters. Initial investigation revealed that the duo was operating a religious school without a permit. Both individuals were also suspected of attempting to revive the Aurat Muhammadiyah teachings, which have been declared deviant by the State Mufti Department. On September 12th, authorities sealed two houses believed to have been used as an unregistered madrasah housing 40 boys aged between 10 and 12 in a village in Kuala Pilah, following reports of alleged sexual misconduct involving residents of the facility, with inspections conducted at the premises on September 6th. Previously, 4 teaching assistants at the madrasah were charged at the Seremban Sessions Court for committing physical sexual assaults against the children. In Malacca, the Air Sharia High Court on Sunday granted the bail bond application by the Malacca Islamic Religious Department JAIM for Al-Arkam founder Ashari Muhammad's 3 sons who were arrested during Op Global in the state on Saturday. Judge Muhammad Yunus Muhammad Zin ordered the 3 men aged 38 and 42 and 45 to pay bail of 1,000 ringgit each with one surety. The court made the ruling after allowing an application submitted by JAIM to complete the investigation under Section 63 of the Sharia Offences Enactment, Malacca 1991. On Saturday, 11 individuals were arrested on suspicion of continuing the practice of the teachings of Al-Arkam, a cult movement declared deviant by the National Fatwa Council in 1994. They were arrested during Op Global raids conducted at 19 premises linked to GISBH throughout the state. The Selangor Islamic Religious Council MAIS will revoke registrations and ensure the closure of all religious schools in the state with links to GISBH are done immediately through coordinated action with the State Islamic Religious Department JAIS, the Mufti Department and the police. In a statement, MAIS Chairman Tan Sri Abdul Aziz Muhammad Yusof said they would act in accordance to the decree issued by the Sultan of Selangor, Sultan Sharafuddin Idris Shah, in regards to GISBH and its network. MAIS would also ensure any deviant understandings and teachings are eradicated. In the meantime, JAIS is expected to table a comprehensive report on GISBH activities in the state at a meeting with MAIS on Tuesday. Fatwa issuance on the matter, meanwhile, will be decided with the State Mufti Department on September 30th. In the meantime, items seized during the 4th phase of Ops Global could serve as supporting evidence to show if the beliefs of GISBH are deviant. JAKIM Director General Datuk Hakimah Muhammad Yusof in a statement said this evidence would form the basis of a report to be discussed and decided upon in the upcoming session of the Muzakarah Committee of the National Council of Islamic Religious Affairs MKI from September 24th to 26th. The committee's decision regarding GISBH Group's doctrine will later guide state religious authorities in issuing fatwas and enable prosecution in the Sharia court. She added that any efforts to tarnish the sanctity of Islamic teachings can also be curbed with the cooperation of all parties involved. Moving on, the number of flood victims in Kedah has dropped to 7,969 people compared to the 8,394 individuals recorded on Saturday afternoon. So far, there are 37 temporary relief centres, PPS, which are still open across 5 districts in the state.
According to the Disaster Info Portal of the Social Welfare Department, JKM, Kota Star remains the most affected area, with 5,345 individuals from 1,773 families placed in 19 relief centres, followed by Pendang, Kubang Pasu, Pokok Sena and Bandar Baru, with 2,622 victims combined taking shelter in 18 relief centres. The Department of Irrigation and Drainage, DID's Public Info Banjir website reported 2 rivers in Kedah has exceeded dangerous levels, which are the Sungai Anak Bukit at the Tar Bridge and Sungai Anak Bukit at Taman Aman Indah, both located in Kota Star. Meanwhile, in Perak, the number of victims within the state remained at 29, with only 1 PPS open in Kurian. The Bukit Merah Reservoir in Kurian remains at the alert level with a reading of 9.02 metres.
In the meantime, schools and educational institutions affected by floods and designated as temporary relief centres will continue using the home-based teaching and learning method, PDPR.
In a statement on Sunday, the Education Ministry, MOE, said the State Education Department and District Education Offices had mobilized their smart support teams and academic support teams to assist students, some staying at flood relief centres, with counselling and learning. The ministry is also monitoring the flood situation to ensure the safety of both students and teachers. As of Saturday, a total of 36 educational institutions in 3 states are serving as relief centres. This includes 20 primary schools and 16 secondary schools in Kedah and 1 each in Pulau Pinang and Perak, with a total of 1,056 students sheltering at school premises designated as relief centres. Perlis has fully recovered, with all flood relief centres closed. On Saturday, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said that the MOE will determine the school sessions for affected schools, including considering leniency for flood-affected institutions.
The federal government will study Johor's transit housing program to see if it can be expanded to other states. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ahmad Hamidi said that the housing program, where a portion of the monthly rental paid by renters are set aside as savings for the future purchase of a house, could be very helpful to young family.
Kerana kuasa beli mereka masih berkurangan. Oleh sebab itu, kaedah untuk rent to own ataupun kaedah untuk penyimpanan daripada wang sewaan itu adalah pendekatan yang sangat-sangat diperlukan oleh mereka.
Zahid said this during a media conference after officiating and groundbreaking ceremony of the Taman Kluang Perdana Fasa 3A Affordable Homes Project in Kluang Johor on Sunday. The initiative, known as Johor Transit Housing Program or Rumah Transit Bangsa Johor, was introduced by the state government last year. Under the initiative, 30% of rent paid by the renters can be used to purchase a house in the future. To date, 538 units of such homes have been built, and there are 5 ongoing projects statewide.
Human Resources Minister Stephen Sim has been appointed as the new Pulau Pinang DAP chairman for the 2024-2027 term, replacing Chief Minister Chow Kon Yeow. He polled 1,237 votes at Sunday's state DAP elections. Sim's 1,237 votes was slightly behind Bukit Gelugur Member of Parliament Ram Karpal Singh with 1,247 votes. Ram Karpal, who received the highest votes during the state party polls, has been appointed as the new Pulau Pinang DAP Deputy Chairman. Sim will serve for 2024-2027 term with the other 15 members who received the highest votes during the state DAP elections. Zairil Khir Johari, who garnered 1,166 votes, and former state EXCO member Datuk Yo Soon Hin, who polled 1,225 votes, were appointed as the state party vice chairman. Deputy Finance Minister Lim Hui Ying, who was in 12th place with 827 votes, was appointed as the state DAP secretary. Dissanayake wins presidential election. This and more from the foreign front when Nightline returns.
Hampa nak tahu tumpuan menarik di Karnival Jom Heboh Pulau Pinang 27 sampai 29 September ini? Temui selebriti studio tonton drama sangat seperti Rina Diana, Bella Astira, juga calon-calon anugerah bintang popular Berita Harian 36, personaliti media prima dan maskot kami. Juga saksikan dan sertai aktiviti menarik, pesta makanan, hiburan dan hadiah percuma untuk semua sepanjang hari. Temui anda semua 27 hingga 29 September ini di Stadium Negeri Pulau Pinang, Batu Kawan mulai jam 9 pagi. Mailah!
Udang lipan ni dia tak ada mesin. Dia sentiasa ada tapi dia tengok daripada kuasan. Kuasan tu kata ada udang lipan kan. Memang dia ada. Banyak sikit memang dia ada.
Mi kari dia lah, paling terbaik lah. Orang kata kalau mana-mana tempat kita pergi, memang takkan jumpa lah mi kari udang lipan ni.
Empangan ni, sebenarnya kalau ayak penuh dia cantik, dia green. Tapi bila ayak surut tu nampak macam lombong lah.
Tu sedih itulah. Tengok bekas tu duduk, ambil air mata. Ingat kubur.
Orang kata sabar itu indah. Sampai bila dan situasi bagaimana, kita harus bersabar. Menu masakan Kelantan antara pembuka selera. Ikan beko, budu, gulai kawah dan macam-macam lagi. Ambil tahu ataupun timbang rasa. Ini yang semakin hilang dalam kalangan masyarakat kita. Lafaz tak klik, apa yang perlu kita ketahui? Jom kita bincangkan bersama-sama. Perkahwinan antara imajinasi ataupun realiti. Jom kita cari titik tengah untuk bahagia menanti. Semuanya di Wanita Hari Ini TV3 dan stream ditonton.
Welcome back. Onto the foreign front. Iranian media on Sunday said an explosion at a mine in South Khorasan province has killed at least 51 people and injured 20 others. At least 69 people were working in blocks B and C of the mine when the sudden methane gas leak occurred at 9 p.m. local time on Saturday. According to the governor of the province, the rescue operation in Block B has been completed, and of the 47 workers who were in the block, 30 had died and 17 were left injured. He added rescue operations in Block C have started. However, due to the high methane density, the operation will take around 3 to 4 hours. Meanwhile, Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian said an investigation has been launched into the incident. Marxist leading candidate Anurakumara Dissanayake and his party has won the Sri Lanka general election on Sunday after a historic second round counting.
Election officials said Dissanayake, the 55-year-old leader of the People's Liberation Front, won the presidency with 42.31% of the vote in Saturday's election, while opposition leader Sajith Premadasa took second place with 32.76%. Outgoing President Ranil Wickremesinghe, who took office at the peak of the 2022 economic collapse, took a distant third with 17.27%. Wickremesinghe has yet to concede. However, the country's foreign minister said it was clear that Dissanayake had won. Dissanayake is now expected to be sworn in on Monday morning at the Colonial-era President Secretariat in Colombo.
Moving on, Zionist forces on Sunday have raided the offices of news broadcaster Al Jazeera in Ramallah in the occupied West Bank and ordered it to close for an initial period of 45 days. Heavily armed and masked Zionist soldiers forcefully entered the building housing the Al Jazeera's bureau. The soldiers then handed a 45-day closure order to the network's West Bank bureau chief Walid Al-Omari. Al-Omari said the closure order accused the network of incitement to and support of terrorism. According to a journalist, the Zionist soldiers used tear gas in the vicinity of the Al Jazeera bureau and Al Manara Square. She added that the soldiers confiscated their cameras and feared the military might try to destroy the broadcaster's archives, which are stored in the office. And separately, Israel and Lebanon exchanged heavy fire into Sunday, with Zionist warplanes carrying out the most intense bombardment in almost a year of war across Lebanon's south.
The Zionist military said it struck around 290 targets on Saturday, including thousands of alleged Hezbollah rocket launcher barrels, and said it would continue to strike targets of the Iran-backed movement. Hezbollah then launched missiles at northern Israel in retaliation for that, as well as for the wave of Zionist attacks over previous days. In a statement, the group said it had targeted the Israeli Ramat David airbase with dozens of missiles in response to the repeated Zionist attacks on Lebanon. The escalating attacks come less than 48 hours after a Zionist airstrike targeting Hezbollah commanders killed at least 45 people in a suburb of the Lebanese capital, Beirut.
Go and Izzuddin bag career's biggest title, sports, right after this short break.
Korang tak nak lari ke?
Terlampau yang lari, kau dah fikir habis-habisan ke? Ini tengkok aku ke tengkok kau, Ada plot twist.
Siapa kata gali kubur kerja biasa-biasa?
Waris dia sebagai penggali kubur. Bila kamu dah bersedia, baru kamu boleh pegang cangkul ni.
Sebab dia kat KL tu tengah setia menanti acap.
Tunggu sampai korang jumpa awet misteri ni.
Allah! Hantu!
Terus berjaga sampai pagi dibuatnya. Penggali Kubur dan Miss Sleepwalker Isnin hingga Khamis 10 malam. Di Samarinda TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Menarik DMHI.
Kamera badan anggota polis menuju kepolisan moden.
Tawaran jualan organ haram ni memang banyak risikonya tertinjau dalam konteks undang-undang.
Kabar hari tua, cabaran ke arah status negara tua. Sudahkah bersedia?
Mencari jodoh di era digital nampaknya semakin popular, namun kenalah ada batasannya.
Soal wang, ekonomi dan pekerja gig memacu ekonomi negara.
Segalanya DMHI setiap Isnin hingga Jumaat.
Juga stream melalui Tonton.
Learn strategies for staying ahead in the financial battlefield. Your key insights into finance, money matters every Saturday 5 p.m. only on TV3 and stream now on Tonton.
Sports badminton, the 2024 China Open. National men's doubles Go Zefei Nur Izzuddin Rumsani claimed the biggest title in their career so far as they outplayed China's pair in the final on Sunday. Playing against world number 7, homesters He Jiting, Ren Xiangyu, Go and Izzuddin lost the first set 13-21. The national duo then capitalized on Xiangyu's back injury as they claimed the next two sets 21-12, 21-17 to bag their second title of the year. Go and Izzuddin, who earned 622,000 ringgit, won the Japan Open Super 750 last month. Earlier, national mixed doubles pair Go Soon-hwa Chevan Lai's gallant run in Changzhou came to an agonizing end as they fell to world number 3 Feng Yanzhe Huang Dongping in the final. World number 12 Soon-hwa Chevan could not capitalize on a fine start as they lost 21-16, 14-21, 17-21 to the China pair. The husband and wife pair saved 6 match points while trailing 20-11 in the third game, but it was not enough to stop Yanzhe Dongping from winning their third World Tour title this year. It was Soon-hwa Chevan's first appearance in a Super 1000 final. Turning to Formula One, the 2024 Singapore Grand Prix, Lando Norris survived 2 scares with the wall to dominate the race, beating Max Verstappen to close the championship lead to 52 points. The Briton brushed the wall twice during a crushing victory, first knocking his front wing at turn 14 after a lock-up ahead of his sole pit stop, but escaped without needing to change it during the switch to hard tyres. During his hard tyre stint, Norris later knocked the wall with his rear right at turn 10, at the same point that he and George Russell knocked it in the closing laps of last year's race. After turning the pace down and dealing with traffic, Norris crossed the line to clinch his third win of the year. Verstappen crossed the line 20.9 seconds behind, while Oscar Piastri ensured both McLarens made it onto the podium with third. Moving on to football, the German Bundesliga, Michael Olise scored twice and Harry Kane scored his 10th club goal of the season as Bayern Munich brushed aside Werder Bremen's 5-0 for its latest big win. Olise kicked off the goal fest after 23 minutes as he slotted in Kane's clever through ball. Olise then turned provider in the 32nd minute, with Jamal Musiala putting his name on the score sheet from close range. The visitors resumed their domination in the second half with 3 more goals. Kane found the net in the 57th minute before Olise grabbed his second of the game on the hour mark to make it 4-0. Serge Gnabry finally rounded off a 5-star performance from the Bavarians, curling home a low shot in the 67th minute for a 5-zip victory. It was Bayern's 6th win in 6 games in all competitions under new coach Vincent Kompany and comes ahead of playing Bundesliga champion Bayer Leverkusen next week. Mastermind of countersetting syndicate arrested. The details when we come back.
Funny.
Kelakar.
Saya terhibur sangat-sangat.
Ayah masa dekat atas pokok tu, Abang Ropi masa dia tengah feeling-feeling K-pop dia yang yang tak boleh nak terbang tu lah. Dekat betul dengan hati.
Saya paling suka yang part yang diorang berlari tu.
Best lah cerita ni, like je. Jarang dek tengok pontianak yang berat ni dek.
Ada plot twist. Saya bagi 10 bintang.
8 lah, 8. 9 kot sebab Pak Ropi. Yes. 8.5.
아, 내가 사줘야 되는데.
너 좋아하는 것 같아.
고마워, 마주야.
Syoknya ber-K-drama di Cam Sarang TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Menarik DMHI.
Kamera badan anggota polis menuju kepolisan moden.
Tawaran jualan organ haram ni memang banyak risikonya tertinjau dalam konteks undang-undang.
Kabar hari tua cabaran ke arah status negara tua. Sudahkah bersedia?
Mencari jodoh di era digital yang nampaknya semakin popular, namun kenalah ada batasannya.
Soal wang, ekonomi dan pekerja gig memacu ekonomi negara.
Segalanya DMHI setiap Isnin hingga Jumaat.
Juga stream melalui Tonton.
Welcome back. An immigration officer suspected of being the mastermind behind the countersetting syndicate has been remanded for 7 days. Magistrate Muhammad Sabri Ismail issued the remand order until September 28th for the 49-year-old suspect at the Shah Alam Magistrates Court on Sunday.
The suspect was arrested at the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission (MACC) office in Negeri Sembilan at around 1 p.m. on Saturday. He was previously remanded in Seremban until Monday but was released early. According to sources, the suspect was believed to have conspired with syndicate agents to bring in foreign nationals arriving through Kuala Lumpur International Airport (KLIA) between 2021 and 2023. The case is being investigated under the MACC Act.
Police have arrested a man for brandishing a machete during an argument in Teluk Panglima Garang, Selangor on Saturday. Kuala Langat District Police Chief Superintendent Ahmad Ridwan Muhammad Noor alias Saleh said they received a report regarding the incident at 10:50 p.m.
Kosonglah, jangan main parang. Siapa tu buat ni? Mari. Jangan main parang. Jangan main parang. Main tangan kosong. Main tangan mari.
The incident was recorded by a witness's mobile phone, which has since gone viral on social media. The 52-second video shows the suspect carrying a machete while engaging in an argument. The police arrived at the scene and arrested the 24-year-old suspect along with a 23-year-old man and 2 women aged 22 and 24. All 4 of them were remanded for 3 days to assist in the investigations.
In Kelantan, a 56-year-old man was killed in a landslide in Kampung Cabang Bijih, Tanah Merah, while prospecting for gold on Saturday. The victim, Rosli Dahalan of Kampung Air Resum, Gual Ipoh, was pronounced dead on the site. Kemahang Fire and Rescue Department Chief Disagar Mandi Mustafa said they received a distress call at 4:11 p.m. and arrived at the site about half an hour later. The operation to rescue the man who was buried by the landslide ended around 6 p.m. The victim's body has been handed over to the police. And that ends this edition of Nightline. In conjunction with Malaysia Day celebrations, the second edition of the Johari Ghani Cup futsal tournament took place in Kuala Lumpur on Saturday and was officiated by Plantation and Commodities Minister Datuk Seri Johari Abdul Ghani, who is also the Titiwangsa MP. The limelight of the tournament was a friendly match between Pilihan Pemuda Titiwangsa and Media Prima FC. With that, I'm Muhammed Ahmad Hamdan. Thanks for watching and stay safe.